And we're back for Draw 3 of this 2020 Men's Bonspiel, hosted by the Milwaukee Curling Club. Curling consecutively for 175 years in Ozaki County. In this draw, we have Farbelow versus May. Back with you for this third draw of the Men's 2020 Milwaukee Men's Bonspiel in our 67th consecutive year of the Men's Bonspiel. Farbelow versus May in the second end. Farbelow with the hammer, down 2-0. Farbelow looking for a draw down to the yellow. May have a little extra weight on that. Get a little separation so that May has an opportunity here to chip it out. And that's the call. May looking to clear that red out with about backline weight. You see him wiping his broom behind the back line, telling his teammate just enough weight to clear it out of the house. And it looks like he's got that shot, leaving 2 yellow in the house and clearing Farbelow's red out. Farbelow now with his final rock of the end. He's just looking for a draw to the button. Just needs to outscore that yellow sitting in the white. Sweepers are on it. Farbelow goes out to help. Sweeping hard, it'll be close here. And they just barely don't get enough, so they will give up 1 in the second end. And an update on sheet 2, Fleming versus Anderson in the third draw here. Fleming scoring 2 against Anderson. So Anderson will have the hammer in the second end. And May starts off with his first shot very close to the button. And May overcurls a little bit with a little light weight. Unable to come in and get the take, ends up taking his guard out on top. So now Farbelow takes a look at his options. Farbelow draws behind his upper guard, but doesn't come in tight enough to actually outscore that yellow sitting in the back. Now May looks to take out the red at the button. And this time it looks like he has a bit more weight, but overcurls again and isn't able to take the red out. Farbelow able to just barely touch that red back, and looks like he's sitting 1-2 now. May'll go after that red on the button. And May'll get a nice roll sitting behind the red. Maybe pulled it just a little too far. He might have wanted to be sitting shot inside that red one. Anyone's guess as to which rock is actually shot right now. But Farbelow picks to sit on the back yellow and ensure his position as shot rock. They're bringing it down, but it may overcurl just a little bit. He gets some separation and leaves it on the outside. So now May will take a look and see if he can chip it out. And May's able to sweep that out and leave himself sitting one, but also wide open, giving Farbelow some options. As we look around the other sheets, on sheet 1, SNF versus Apel blanked the first end, so they're in their second end. Over on sheet 5, Freund scored 3 against Lawless, so he's ahead 3-0 as they play their second end. And Taylor scored 2 against Brown in the first. And May's able to get the take and roll just a little outside. And Farbelow now takes a look at his options as he throws his final rock, the hammer, if you will, in the third end. And it looks like Farbelow has a shot for 2 here if he can make the take and keep his shooter. And Farbelow delivers. So Farbelow will score 2 and finish 3 ends, May with a lead of 3-2. And we'll start off the fourth end now. So I've got with me Alan Roberts, a longtime member of the Milwaukee Curling Club. He's going to help me out commentating for a little bit on this third match of the day, Farbelow versus May. Welcome, Alan.
Thanks, John. Appreciate it very much. I'm really enjoying the competition. So May is throwing their second stone. Trying to come around and be hidden, but it looks like he's just behind the tee and could be hidden there. Shot rock for sure. So Farbelow second is going to try and draw in under the two front guards in front of the Yellowstone, hopefully in front of the tee.
Now, it looks like he's got a little more weight than he wanted on this, maybe a little deeper than he was hoping for.
Well, he's in front of the tee, which is fine, but he's a little open there. I think he wanted to try and come in underneath the two front guards, try and hide himself. So May has an opportunity here to either tap him out or possibly come down to him, although they still wouldn't be shot rock if that were the case. Oh, he's going to try and take him and roll under cover. The ice at the club is, as usual, quite fast. And generally, with the proper weight, we're getting 2 to 3 feet of curl. So he did make his shot. Unfortunately, he took out his own stone afterwards. So May is sitting one in the house wide open, though.
It does look like Farbelow is going to be, after taking that, maybe roll under his own cover.
That would be the ideal shot. So, as expected, they did make the shot, but unfortunately over curled just slightly and has left himself open in the back 8, just behind the tee. So I believe this is the third draw of the day. We're going to be curling all day long at the Milwaukee Curling Club. If you're not familiar with where it is, it's at the Osage County Fairgrounds in Cedarburg, Wisconsin. So May is trying a takeout, which he will succeed in making. Hit him right on the nose, so he's sitting 1, but out in the open.
Yeah, it looked like he had called for the roll under that guard, but didn't quite curl enough to make the shot.
Yeah, it needed to curl up a little bit so he could get a slight roll of a couple of feet to get under cover there.
Now it looks like Farbelow's going for the same shot, take out Mays. Looks like he's coming a bit wide already.
Yep.
So he's able to get it out, but doesn't get the roll under for cover like he wanted. And a little back and forth between these two rinks, taking each other's out.
Yep, that's what you happen when you get into a hitting game. This is going to be a slightly more difficult shot being out at the edge of the 12-foot. Some people have a hard time getting out there with their delivery, but looks like these guys know the ice because this is... Oh, no, he's a little wide also. So he cleared the house, so there's nobody in the house, which is perfectly okay.
So now it looks like Farbelow likes the idea of drawing under and getting back to that cover that he has set up.
That's about the only shot he has. Not to say that's a bad shot, but that's the best shot he has. Always try and come under cover if you can. Looks like he's just a little light. Nice stone to tap up if he can, though.
And now May takes a look.
Going to try the same shot, just coming from the other direction. Draw shot, undercover. They're on it already sweeping, so it may be a touch light. Yeah, it's going to come up light here. And it's starting to curl quite a bit. So Skip's rocks are left. Farbelow's up first. And they're going to try and draw under all the guards that are out front, somewhere in the house, protected.
It looks like the weight on this one's a little better than their earlier shot.
Yeah, it's got to curl a little. There it comes. There it comes. Well, it's definitely undercover, which is what he wanted. He would have liked to have it just a couple of feet shorter in front of the tee. Now May has the opportunity simply to throw the same shot and come down to Farbelow's shot rock, thereby making May shot, since they'll be closer to the button. Difficult shot to throw. Probably one of the more difficult shots in the game of curling. Just simply a come down two shot. Looks like he's a little wide though. It's staying out.
He may
He's even light too.
Looks like he'll get a tick off that front guard, but not really much movement after that.
Yeah, no, he missed his shot there. He was wide and light, which leaves Farbelow with an opportunity to come through the hole and possibly score two here, or at the very least block that hole up so they can't get to him. Looks like he's calling about the same ice that he did previously. Stone has got to curl a little bit. Here it comes. Here it comes. I think they've got the weight. They're sweeping it. Oh, look at that. Nice shot.
Just nice a great shot for Farbelow.
Fantastic. Not only
did he... up high on the house.
Yep. Threw it so that he's guarded the shot on the 4-foot also. So just a really nice shot. Now May is going to try an angled raise. He's going to try and raise that front yellow stone to the tee, to the button, and hopefully outcount both those two reds. If nothing else, he wants to cut Farbelow's two shots down to 1 or possibly 0. This is the hammer. Looks like he's wide.
Yep.
He may miss everything. Wow. Disappointing throw there. He had 2 opportunities to do an angled raise and missed both of them. So Farbelow scored 2 there. Actually stole 2. So that was a good end for them. Under normal circumstances, team that has the hammer tries to score 2 stones or more, and the team without the hammer tries to hold them to less than 2. And at that particular end, Farbelow actually stole 2 shots. Great end for them. So since Farbelow just scored, they're leading off the 5th end.
And Farbelow was looking for the button, but Looks like he's going to come up just a little short, sitting on the top of the house.
May's calling for a takeout here. Since the stone is in the house, you can actually take that stone out. If it were outside the house, you fall under the free guard zone in which he can't take it out. He can move it, but he can't take it out. Yeah. Looks like May missed his takeout shot. He was a little narrow and it just skirted by. So this shot, Farbelow is going to try and guard the shot that's in the house. So he's going to throw, hopefully, a center line guard. He's a little heavy. So the good news is the two stones didn't lay next to each other. There's enough separation that it's a difficult double, but May can throw a double, hit that front stone just off the nose to the left, and he could possibly get both of them. Well, it's over curling slightly, so he's going to get the one. He may not stick. No, he didn't stick around.
He actually loses his shooter in the process.
Yep. But he did get out the stone up front, which is guarding that stone that was in the back, further back in the house, which is necessary in order to even have a shot at trying to get that back stone.
So it looks like Farbelow decides to put the guard back in place.
Yep. When you don't have the hammer, you want to block up the center, so throwing that center line guard is exactly what you need to do. And the fact that he's got a stone in the house already, wants to throw something that's going to both guard the center and guard his shot rock back there. And he did a pretty good job of it. It's over curling slightly. So okay. So he's calling now for a double. He's going to try and hit that front guard into the stone in the house and clear both of them. Not an easy shot, but the gentleman May, who's throwing with a stick, can get a little extra speed on that stone by doing it that. I think he's going to miss that front guard, and he did get the back stone, which quite frankly isn't so bad. Unfortunately, he left himself wide open. Instead of rolling under that front red guard, he actually rolled the opposite way. So that leaves a wide open take shot for Farbelow. And for those who are newer to curling, he's their second, which means he's throwing the third and fourth stones as the second man throwing. And seconds generally have their normal shots would be guards sometimes, but a lot of times they do takeouts. And he did exactly what he was asked to do. He took that stone out. And May did exactly what they needed to do. Unfortunately, it overcurled slightly. So instead of being directly behind that front red guard, he's sitting just out at the edge of the 8-foot open. So I suspect Farbelow is going to try and take him out. and try and roll under. Yep, see, he's just tapped the stone, meaning he's going to take that stone out and then just roll slightly. So it's a nice shot. Oop, could have gotten a little more roll on it. Would have thought their sweepers would have stayed with that stone and tried to get the most out of it. So May's calling for the same shot. Take out. Try and roll under. Try and get a little protection there. This one looks like it's a little wide, so he may spill. Yep, he spilled out too. So, I mean, he got the shot out, and that's the good thing. Unfortunately, it would have been nice for him to stick around, because that would have forced Farbelow to try and take him out. Now Farbelow has an opportunity to come around that front guard to the butt and bury it, and not worry about having to take something out. Shot he's throwing is called a draw shot. Drawing into the house, around a guard, hopefully hidden and close to the button. And unfortunately, he's a little heavy. And it went right through the house. That's unfortunate. May's going to try the same shot. They're going to try and come around that front guard. They're starting to sweep it fairly early, so they think it may be a little light. They're really working it hard there. They keep going. They might have a shot at it. Might have a shot. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Just a biter.
And as I look at some of the other sheets we have running, I see that Apel scored 3 in the third end, so he's now leading Neff 3-1 as they play their fourth end. Taylor and Brown tied it up on the fourth sheet, 2-2, playing their third end.
So these are skip rocks now. Farbelow's throwing their first skip rock. He's trying to take the Yellowstone out in the top of the house. And it doesn't look like he got it. Oh, he did.
Oh, he just
barely got by his front guard. But he's not in the house, so that leaves May an opportunity to come around again into the house under the two front guards. So this is a good opportunity for May to get back into the game here. He's delivered his stone.
Looks like it's curling an awful lot.
It is. Yep. He's not going to get there. He's going to come up a little short. Yep. Not going to, if he does touch it, he's not going to tap it in. So no foul there, other than the fact that he missed an opportunity to get into the house under cover. So we're down to the final shots of the fifth end with Farbelow throwing first. And again, they're going to try the exact same shot both teams tried last time. Come around those front guards into the house, try and bury it, and make it difficult for May to take it out or get closer to the button to score one. And
Oh,
jeez.
no. Missed the sweep call to get around that front one.
Yep, and it's out. So,
well, now May has a decision to
Yeah.
blank the end or
or take one.
Take one to tie it up. And it looks like
They're going to take one. I'm a bit surprised since they have the hammer. No, that's going right through the house.
Yep.
So they did. They decided to blank the end, which is the proper shot at this point. You know, they're trying to go for two. One they could have gotten, but although it gets them equal, keeping the hammer is more important because you have the opportunity to score more than one stone. That's the whole goal here. So at the end of 5, Farbelow is up 4-3. And on the other sheets, Fleming looks like on sheet 2 they're up 4-3 in the fifth end. And on the fourth sheet, Taylor and Brown are tied at 2 in the third end. So some pretty close games here. So Farbelow just threw their first stone. Perfect center line guard. Exactly the shot that they wanted to throw. Now May is going to try and probably put a guard 2-3 feet off the center line. Since they don't want to block up the center since they have hammer, but they do want to have an opportunity to get some coverage. It looks like this stone's coming in though, John.
it does.
He may have called that. I didn't see his initial call, but you know, that's perfectly okay.
I would say even if he wanted it in, it's probably a little deeper than he wanted.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You always try and keep it in front of the T line, which is the line going right across the center of the house. Otherwise, the other team can simply come down to that stone and potentially be closer. Farbelow's doing what they need to do. They're simply taking this stone out. Yeah, it looks like it got it. Oh, it just spilled off. So, again, did what he was supposed to do, took it out. He would have liked to have stuck around there, but that's why the cookie crumbles sometime, eh?
So it looks like May's calling the same, put it back.
Yep. He's still calling for it to come into the house. It may get there. I think that's a fine shot there too, though. Nice guard out there, so if they have to, they can come around and not clog up the center. So Farbelow is going to actually call a shot into the house. He's going to come around that front guard. He could have very easily put another guard out front. Since they don't have hammer, they want to block it up as much as they can. But as long as they're under cover in the house, that's a reasonable shot. Stone's slowing down on him. I think what they're going to get is a nice little bump and a rub there, which is not so bad. I mean, honestly, he's guarded that center line, which is perfectly acceptable. Just wasn't heavy enough to get into the house.
So now, as May's rink discusses, I think they're looking at, should we take the guards out or should we draw in? I think both are valid options for strategy.
Absolutely. They are calling coming around, but since they have thrown 5 stones legally, according to the new curling rules, you could have taken out those front guards. So he's a little heavy, and I'm not sure that's going to stick around. Thank you. Thank you. So Farbelow is going to try a draw shot, come around those 2 front guards, undercover, hopefully close to the butt in front of the tee. That would be the ideal shot. Weight looks good, but it's just not curling. They start sweeping a little early. Had they waited a little bit longer, it might have curled a little bit more, but it is curling at the end. So he did get a good couple of feet of curl there, but he is wide open. So the shot would be to take that out. Now, if you happen to see the skip, he tapped his heel, his foot. He's actually telling the gentleman who's throwing the stone what type of weight he wanted. And by tapping your foot, that's a signal for hack weight, which is where they push off when delivering a stone. So he did get the hit and rolled out to the 12 foot. So not a bad shot. He would have liked probably to roll the other way, but again, he's in the house. So now Farbelow has to, well, should hit it. I think they're going to call for a hit. So for those people less familiar with the game of curling, the gentleman who's almost kneeling there with his stick next to the stone is a skip, and he's telling him where he wants that stone to be delivered, and he also told him what type of rotation he wants on that stone. If he does it correctly, he got the shot he wanted, and that is a wonderful shot. He took the stone out and rolled to the center, and he's partially covered. So just a great shot. Nice weight, nice touch. So May's going to call for removal of the guards out front. Probably not a bad idea at this point in time. He's calling for more weight than he normally would throw, and all he wants to do is drive that yellow stone into the red stones, hopefully at such an angle that both red stones will definitely be moving someplace. It looks like he got one of them, didn't get both. So he just hit on the wrong side of the stone. So Farbelow's just sitting just in front of the button. And although he's covered mostly, he's still calling for a guard out in front of the house to protect that shot rock that's back on the button. Called a guard shot. You're going to guard something. Weight-wise, pretty good. Don't want it to overcurl too much. Put a little bump on that to get a little separation there. Would have been fine. Not a bad shot, though. He's got it guarded out front, and you can't ask for much more than that. Had he tapped his own stone there, maybe, and moved it a foot over, that would have been probably the best of all worlds. So May's calling for the removal of those guards again. It looks like he's going to get at least one of them here. Ooh, well, I think he did. Yes, he did.
Yep. And it looks like he's able to clear that second one straight through the house.
Yep, nice shot. So that leaves Farbelow sitting wide open on the button, so he's got several options. Probably the best option would be to throw a guard. It would be okay if he's maybe touching the 12-foot, which is the blue outside circle. He also could come down to his shot on the button. As long as he freezes to it and he's directly in front of it, they'll never get both stones out. Well, let's see what he calls here. It's got to come a couple of feet here. Here it comes. Getting close. Very nice. Got right back to the center line. Just touching the center line, so that's a pretty good shot. The stone on the button is slightly exposed. With the right shot, he can get to it.
Now I see May kind of tapping his hip. What does that mean, Alan? What kind of weight is he asking for there?
That's usually a control shot, meaning it's not his normal take weight shot or his takeout weight shot, but more of a control shot, slightly less weight. Because if he hits this red stone, he's not going to be able to hit it near the middle line. Therefore, when he hits it, he's going to roll. And what he wants to do is he wants to stay in play. He's definitely narrow here, so he's going to take out that front guard. There is a possibility that he could possibly get both of them with this shot.
Oh, look at that.
Look at that. What a nice shot.
Actually gets a double when he was only looking to chip the back one out, so great shot for May.
Yep. That's why whenever you're curling as a skip, you always have second shot, a backup shot plan, maybe even a third shot plan, because if plan A doesn't work, hopefully plan B, C, or D might. And in that case, It worked perfectly. And that was his plan B shot.
So now Farbelow with his last shot of the end, looking to draw under that yellow, I think, to make it difficult for May to score. It looks like that weight might be just a little much.
Yeah, it's definitely a little heavy. I'm not sure it's going to be heavy enough to get out. It might be, though. Oh, he left him a thinker there. So that means he's either got to take him out or come down to it. I mean, ideally, he could throw the same shot, similar concept, anyways, to the last end, which was if he takes him out and spills out of the house, then he's blanked the end again, so he retains the hammer, which is getting to be very important because they're in their sixth end here. So, I mean, he could literally just draw down anywhere inside the blue and be shot rock. He has backing back there. If he taps it out, he comes down to it. He's got multitude of shots here.
So it looks like he's calling the draw, use that for backing and take one and move
Yep.
into the seventh.
Yep. And it looks like he's got a nice weight shot here. So he brought it in and he outcounted that red stone in the back because the yellow stone was closer to the button by probably 6 inches. So May scored 1 in the 6th to tie up the game at 4 apiece.
As we look around on sheet 2, Anderson has now in the 5th scored 1 to tie it up, 4-4 as they play their 6th end.
Apel is up 1 in the 5th end.
Sheet 1's getting to be a very interesting game as we only have 1 apart when Apel took a good lead early in the game and now has given up 1.
So Mays lead through a centerline guard, which is exactly what he needed to do. Looks like Farbelow is going to try and come around that centerline guard and come into the house under cover. Nice weight. Unfortunately, didn't curl quite enough. And he left it open, so that gives May an opportunity to hit that shot that was just thrown and possibly roll slightly to the right and be under cover. Did he get by? Oh, he did get
just
by.
Barely.
Yeah, barely got by.
So he'll get the roll he wanted, just
Yeah, he did.
too much of that roll.
Yep. So Farbelow's again calling for a takeout. Skip has got the broom down next to the stone. That's where he's asking his person to deliver it. He asked for an in turn, but it looks like he was narrow, and yeah, he missed it. So weight was fine. He was just narrow, or the skip asked for more weight, and he just didn't throw it. So I missed the call. I'm not sure if he's going to put up another center line guard or if he's calling to try and come into the house underneath his front guard. John, is this the second time we've broadcast the Milwaukee men's?
So this will be the third time, but the first year that we've had commentators actually able to give some insight into the games that are going on in the sheets.
Oh, that's looking like a nice shot there.
Really great. Above the tee line, gets great cover.
Yep, he's under cover in front of the tee. Nice shot. So Farbelow's calling for him to take that front guard out so that they can get to that back stone. And he did exactly what he was supposed to do. That's called a peel. You're peeling that front guard off, and you're not leaving your shooter around either. Thereby, you're peeling them both off. He didn't want his shooter to be left right on the center line because then it's guarding the shot rock. Now, although that was probably better than a Yellowstone sitting there, he would have preferred to leave it wide open to make it an easy shot.
And it looks like for that same reason, May's looking to put the guard back in place. He cleared it out.
Yep.
May wants to protect that stone again. So the sweepers got on that pretty early. Looks like they should be able to pull it far enough, but over-curling a bit.
It's over-curling, yep. Yeah, I'm not sure if he missed the broom or what, but that shot rock sitting just at the edge of the button there is wide open. So he's going to try and hit that stone and then roll under closer to the other yellow stone. Doesn't want to put it right next to it because then that would make it fairly easy to get both stones out. Oh.
And he'll stay, but
yeah, he took the shot. I'm a bit surprised that they were sweeping that. That stone needed to curl a little bit more in order for it to roll under cover. Had they left it a little bit longer without sweeping, the stone would have curled a little bit more, thereby not hitting it on the nose, but hitting it off the nose and rolling under. So May's back to take this stone out. He may be wide, although we might get a bite of it. Yeah, he did. Did he get enough of it? He sure did. All right. It did curl up enough to get a piece of it. So right now, May is sitting 2 in the house with Farbelow ready to, I'm sure, take out the shot rock there. Yep. So he tapped the stone and then put his broom over to the right, which means he wants to hit just off to the right of nose and roll slightly to the right. Oh, I think they got a piece of him. Oh, no, he missed him. Man. The stone just over curled. May's got a big opportunity here to score some points. Looks like from the ice that he's being given, he's going to try and throw a guard here to guard that shot that's sitting on the edge of the 4-foot. That is the right shot, but he is coming into the house, so he's a little heavy. Oh, yeah, it just came in, but he's covered partially. Would have liked to have been over another foot or so. So Farbelow's calling for hitting the inside of that stone that was just thrown and rolling to his left. Well, he definitely got the shot, but well, he got one of the stones out. Unfortunately, he didn't stick around. He was a little wide and hit on the outside instead of the inside. That gives May, again, a wonderful opportunity to put a really nice guard out front there. Protect that shot rock. Forcing the other rink to either try and take out that stone that's sitting on the edge of the 8-foot. That's the white area touching the blue. And roll under. In the game of curling, you're always thinking 2 or 3 shots ahead, like a chess match. If you're not thinking ahead, sometimes it can get pretty frustrating out on the ice. Try to outguess what, not outguess, but guess what your competitor's going to throw.
And it does look like they've over-curled just a little bit, again leaving that shot rock available.
Yep. So they got a couple of options. They're talking about it here. This is the skip and the vice talking. And they're the only 2 people that are allowed to be in the house when they're shooting. So he's calling for, he's going to come around that front guard and either tap that Yellowstone back, or if he can, maybe come under it, but that's a very difficult shot to come under. If he does and just sticks it right there, then that'll be a perfect shot. He seems like he's wide. I think he, yep, flashed her right by. Unfortunately. All right. So May's going to call for another shot in the house. This is his last shot. So if he can put another one in the house somewhere down close to his shot that's currently shot, then although it may give Farbelow an opportunity to hit it, he's got 3 stones in the house to none for Farbelow. And
I even like the idea of coming down to that yellow and just tapping it back a little to get it closer to the button and leave a guard out there.
Yep. Looks like he's going to split them here.
Little weight.
A little bit, but he's going to split it out a little bit. So actually not too bad, although he left that shot rock that's sitting on the button, just off the button, wide open. So he could come down through those two front guards, hit that yellow stone that's sitting on the edge of the button. As long as he sticks it, he'll score one. And they're looking at another shot there where they could come off the outside stone, hit it on the inside of that stone, come across and hopefully at the right angle, hit the shot that's sitting on the button and possibly take two stones out, which definitely a difficult shot, certainly makeable. The angles are correct.
Now we're on the far side of the ice, but to me it looks like that hole in the middle may be an easier shot than this double they're trying for.
It looks narrow on the TV, but in actuality, there's definitely, you've got a stone and a half, almost two stones there, but he's called a different shot, so let's see if he makes it. This is a very difficult, this is a Bonspiel shot. So he's coming with weight. Nope. And unfortunately, he hit on the outside of the stone and splashed out. So May scored two, actually stole 2 points in the seventh. So they're up now 6-4. Final end to come.
And I see over on the first sheet, Apel's been able to score another 3. So now Apel is up over Neff 6-2 as they play their sixth end. Anderson also stealing 2 in the sixth, so he's up 6-4.
So we're starting the eighth end now. And May put a very nice center line guard there. Exactly what they need to do, close to the house, but still guarding most of the button, or at least half of the button there. Farbelow's calling for a guard also. About 3 foot off the center line. This is classic curling here. Well, they're on that stone fast, so they think it's light. I think it's there. They work it right, they could come right around them. Bury that stone.
Look at it finish. Very nice for them.
Yeah, that's really nice. Perfect stone. Would have been nice also just sitting next to the other yellow stone out in front of the house to guard it up, but if you're a little heavy, fantastic. Farbelow is going to try and come around his guard that he threw on his first stone and get a stone into the house. Not going to be able to outcount May's shot rock, but right now that's not their concern. They're just trying to get something in there. Then they can go after the shot rock. Nice shot. Right on the tee. Under that front guard. Covered under that front guard. Tough to get to. May could come down to it if they wanted to. Okay, so he just tapped his foot, which means he's calling for hack weight, which means if that stone were not to touch anything, it would come through the house and finish at the hack. It's called hack weight. So he is attempting to come and take that red stone out that was just thrown. He got it. Nice shot. And it's going to roll under. Well, it's going to probably roll too far, but still not a bad shot. Got him. So Farbelow's touching just in front of that shot rock, which means he wants to come down to that stone. Now, why would you want to come down to the stone? Well, if it's still open on the next shot that they have, they could actually throw the same shot with a little more weight and hit the stone that just came down to it, thereby hitting the shot rock out. Got a good looking shot. I think it's just a little light though. Yep.
Yep, he just leaves it right outside the house next to that yellow guard.
So May is actually calling either tap that out or nope. He's going to come in front of that to guard that red stone. Now, why would you want to guard your opponent's stone? Well, because if you don't guard it, then they would have an opportunity to hit that red stone out front at the correct angle into the yellow stone that's sitting on the button or close to the button and hit it out, thereby red scoring or potentially scoring. So to avoid that, they're simply going to try and guard that from occurring.
It looks like he's
heavy.
A bit heavy here.
Yep.
So
So one would wonder, well, why would they want to sweep that Yellowstone back further? Well, the reason that their both skips swept it, but the May rink swept their own stone back because they don't want to leave it close to the center line, because then Farbelow could come down to it by sweeping it back further. Even if they come down to that stone, they wouldn't be shot. A lot of strategy involved. This looks, ooh, he just touched that front guard. Thought they had it there. Okay.
So May now still sitting 2.
Yep.
And really his goal is, how do I make sure Farbelow doesn't score two? Farbelow scores two, the game is tied, they play another end.
So
Looks like a little more weight than he probably wanted on this shot. He's now going to sit.
So he's sweeping it back further again, so that if Farbelow throws the same shot, then
he'd be sitting one.
He'd be sitting one. So that is the shot they're calling. Exact same shot. They want to just come down to that yellow stone. By coming down to it, they're protecting themselves from being hit out if they freeze to it. But also by so doing, they're actually closer to the button, therefore scoring potentially 1 point. They got to push this stone hard. A little light.
Oh.
It's a little light.
It's not going to make it in, and
nope.
They'll leave May sitting actually 3 now.
Yeah.
So
I would think May would want to call a guard, maybe top of the house, cover that opportunity to come back to it. Maybe. Oh goodness, he's out there quite a ways. I'm not sure that stone's going to come back much. No, he was just so wide on that stone. Even trying to do some directional sweeping, it's not coming back much. That was a missed opportunity there. So Farbelow has an opportunity here now to raise his red stone into that yellow stone, thereby removing the yellow stone. I don't think he'll be shot rock. But at least he's got a stone in the house, because this is the Vice's last shot. Nope. Over curl. Now they do have an opportunity here to raise all these stones into each other. Ooh. Yikes. Too heavy. Okay, that definitely wasn't what they wanted. So this is the first skip rock. I would think he's going to be throwing a guard. Just keep it off the center line, to the right of the center line, thereby protecting the button. If he does that, really tough for Farbelow to score 2 to tie. Would you agree, John?
I would agree. This is, if they can make this shot, it makes it very, very difficult for Farbelow to get 2.
And they do have a guard. There's no question about that. The question is it going to end up where they want it to?
It's really finishing hard at the end.
Yeah,
here.
But it's up high enough. It's over curling a little bit. But it's up a little further out, so it did help him a little bit. It would have nice to have been that stone, instead of ending where it did, maybe ending another foot further to the right. Ideally, a foot and a half further to the right was the perfect shot. Weight-wise, fantastic. So Farbelow's only opportunity here is to come through the hole there and come down to the 2 stones in the back to freeze on one of those yellow stones, preferably the one closest to the button. Here it comes.
Looks like
Here
they
it
may
comes.
have something here.
Yeah, they got to let it curl. Oh, look at that shot. Beautiful weight.
Really coming in nice for him.
Right down to the butt. Right down, froze to the red stone in the back. So that is, quite frankly, the best you could possibly throw. Now, May has to either block up that hole or come into the house and block up that path that Farbelow just took. He could also come down and freeze to that red stone, and if he were to do that, game is over. He looks heavy. Not sure he's going to get by that front guard. Although that may not be such a bad thing. Oh, he did get by him. Oh, but he's heavy. He's heavy. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Well,
looks like with Skip Stone, he actually gives Farbelow a chance to tie now.
Farbelow has that opportunity. All he has to do is throw the exact same shot he threw just 1 stone before. If he can throw it and freeze down to his own red stone, then he scores 2 points to tie the game, so they go into an extra end.
As Farbelow prepares for a shot, I notice on sheet 2, Fleming has tied it up with Anderson in the 8th. They're playing their final end.
So Farbelow has delivered his stone.
Sweepers are on it. They must feel it's a little light.
I think it's there. I think it's there. Oh, look at that. Look at that.
What a great shot to tie the game.
Beautiful shot.
So Farbelow, with 2 great shots at the end here, puts it into overtime, if you will.
Yep. So they'll take it back to the other end, and this is the 9th end. And provided they don't blank the end, which would be highly unlikely, since they're tied, it only takes 1 to win. Someone should win this game in the next end. That was a clutch shot, John, wasn't it?
That was a very good shot. He needed to have just the right weight 2 times in a row, and they were able to do it.
And that's what's nice about throwing the same shot. If you just threw it, your skip knows the line, your vice knows the line, he also knows the weight. If you communicate that to everybody, should be able to throw that shot. Not everybody can throw that shot consistently, but that's what skips have to do in order to win the game. Since he had the hammer implies you've got last shot. If you've got last shot, you've got an opportunity to score. And in that case, he got his 2 points to tie the game. So Farbelow is going to lead off the 9th. He's calling for a guard out front on the center line, which is the shot that he should be throwing. Skip walked out to tell his teammates where he wants that stone to end up, and it was just about where he wanted it.
Now, in this case, Alan, he asked for really a pretty high guard compared to how they've been playing. As you look at the strategy for this last end, why would he want that guard so high?
Good question, John. Personally, I would have preferred something a little bit closer to the house to make it more difficult for him to come around. The closer you get to the house, the more difficult it is for you to throw that stone and come around and be behind it, so you're hidden. When you're up front there, you have an opportunity to come around. So what May has done here is they have called for a takeout. Actually, what they wanted was maybe to just move it out of the way. Instead, they actually hit it and it went out of bounds. Therefore, since this is a free card zone, the first 5 stones are in can be in the free card zone. They have to replace that stone that they just hit. It goes back to the same position, and the stone that hit it out is automatically tossed out.
It's an interesting strategy, May, trying to open it up just by chipping that guard when he knows he can't take it out.
Yep, difficult shot to do, but boy, I'll tell you, if you can throw that kind of weight and just move him out of the way a little bit, that's a fantastic shot. So what Farbelow is called for here is another guard. It looks like it's going to be a little heavy, so they're probably going to try and, yep.
Just barely bites the house.
It's biting the house. I think he probably would have liked to have had it just sitting outside the house, because that gives May the opportunity to hit that stone. So it really didn't help him a lot. The only thing is can May hit him? Looks like they're going to get a bite of him. Looks like they're going to get a piece of him. I don't know if they got enough weight to get him out, but no. But they moved him out from behind there. So Farbelow's calling for another shot into the house. He's going to come around that front guard, try and bury it. Right now he's sitting 1. And what I mean by that is his red stone is closer to the button than that yellow stone. So this stone is over curling. It's also light. So it's not going to do him a whole heck of a lot of good, although if they can get a little separation, it's okay. What they've done is they've guarded the center line. So what May is contemplating here is taking those stones out, opening up the button so that since they have the... No, they don't have the hammer. May does have the hammer. Excuse me.
Yep.
So May has the hammer, so they want to be able to see the button. They want to be able to throw that last stone to the button and win the game. So the only way to do that is to take those guards out in front, and they have gotten one of the 2. That stone over curled. Had he hit it a little differently, he could have possibly gotten both at the same time. So Farbelow is going to call the same shot again. They're going to try and come around that front guard into the house, burying it.
Welcome again, everyone, to the Milwaukee Men's Bonspiel. Before this 2:30 game starts, we're going to shave. So give us just a minute. Lunch will be.
So he's thrown a guard. just going to touch the house. Yep. So he's actually sitting 1-2, it looks like.
It does. Now, he didn't quite get enough curl to cover, but May's still going to go up and
Take
get that
stone
guard out of there.
Yep. He's going to try and peel it out. And if it doesn't quite peel, then he might be able to get a double out of it. And right now the double looks like he's going to peel it. Although he could, he almost got his own stone there. So Farbelow has a couple of shots here. They could guard the shot rock, or no, it's not shot rock, the guard at the top of the house. Or they could actually tap that one back slightly, which wouldn't be a bad shot. Or they could freeze to it. Unfortunately, that wasn't what he wanted, because now with weight, he could hit both of them and get them out, again, clearing out that line to get to the button. So he's going to call for take weight here and try and remove both of them at the same time. And it looks like he is going to achieve that, I believe. A good possibility he could get both of them.
Oh, look at that. He gets a triple.
What a beautiful shot that was. There was a chance he could get that triple. I saw it, but it was a fantastic shot. There's quite a crowd here. They really enjoyed that shot.
They did.
Don't often at this level see triples. It's hard enough getting doubles. So that was just a fantastic shot. So May now has the hammer, and they're sitting 2 in the house. Farbelow is in trouble. They have to get around that front guard into the house and bury it. I don't think they're there. No, they're not even close. He's barely gonna get over the hog line. I'm a little confused by that shot, John. Not sure why he threw that. So May's just going to clear that stone out. He doesn't want anything there that they can use. Uh-oh. Oh, they did. They cleared it out.
Yep, man peeled it, got theirs out of the way as well.
Yep.
So now Farbelow looks to draw to the button.
They have to. These are skip rocks, so each rink has 2 shots left. No, I take that back. Excuse me. It is skip rocks, yes. Yep.
And I see on sheet 2, Anderson just threw his last rock and won.
They're just delivering the stone. Looks like he's got pretty good weight. Starting to slow down. They're sweeping it. I think they've got a pretty good looking shot if they can get by him. Looks like they're by him. Yep, they're by.
Again, Farbelow with a great shot here.
Wonderful shot. Wonderful shot. They had to sweep that in order to clear that front yellow stone. Unfortunately, by sweeping it, it went just a little bit further than they would have liked because it is sitting behind the tee, which means May could come down to it and be shot rock. They also have the opportunity to hit that front guard out there into that red stone. So here's May's first skip rock. He's going to come in and hopefully raise his shot, raise that front stone into the back stone. He missed it. Just missed the angle a little bit. So if you wondered what that thing was that just rolled by on sheet 4 to the right, that a piece of equipment down at the far end, that's actually a scraper. It's an ice scraper. If you're familiar with a Zamboni, it's like a Zamboni, except it doesn't put any water on the ice. It simply scrapes the top surface of the ice off, and then what they do is they clean it after that, and then what they'll do is they pebble the sheet. And what pebbling is they're actually putting little bumps on the sheet of ice. Most people think the ice is completely flat. The sheet is flat, but what they do by putting pebble on it, that makes it a little uneven, and that causes the stone to ride on the pebble and also curl.
So if they didn't pebble it, what would happen with the rocks? Would they be straight? Would they not curl at all?
They wouldn't curl, they'd skid, they do all sorts of funny things. And there's a term for that. If they do that, it's lost its pebble, and it was a light pebble. So Farbelow is throwing their last rock. They're trying to guard the shot rock. So he's trying to get that stone back to the center line as far as he can, and he left it a little wide. Just a touch. He needed to bring it over another 8 inches to a foot. So, what's that mean? Well, this is May's last shot. He's going to take that red shot out. He doesn't care if he sticks around or not because he has 2 stones already in the house and red only has 1. But he has to get the red stone out. If he doesn't, game over. Well, game over is either way. But if he wants to win it, he has to get this stone out. Here he is. He's delivered it. Looks like it's a good looking shot. Oh, here it comes. Here it comes. Yep. Beautiful shot. There's the game.
And that gives May the game. What a great game to watch here
Absolutely.
on Sheet 3 today.
Yeah, fantastic game. John, it was a pleasure working with you. Thank you for doing all this. It's certainly helping the sport of curling. And here's a traditional end of game. Teams always shake each other's hand and go off the ice. They'll have something to drink and reminisce and talk about the game and have fun. Thanks a lot, John.
You bet. Good curling, everyone. We're going to sign off, and in a few minutes we'll come back on for draw number 4 of the opening day of Men's Bonspiel 2020 at the Milwaukee Curling Club.